All right, back here with one more type of question for uniform distributions, and these are percentiles. So I'm all about that dishwasher life. The time it takes me to wash the dishes is uniformly distributed between 22 and 40 minutes. What is the 73rd percentile? So I'm going to snag this question and pop on over here to Excel to do some work. So, the way percentiles work, the 73rd percentile means that 73% of the data is going to be less than our value and the rest of it above our value. So, I asked you to draw a picture, so I'm going to draw a rough one here of what we have going on. So, the time it takes me to wash dishes is uniformly distributed from 22 to 40. So, here's 22. And here's 40, and it's a uniform distribution, so I'm going to have some kind of, it's supposed to be a rectangle, but that's my best bet. Anyway, we'll find the height of this rectangle in a minute, and what we want with the 73rd percentile is somewhere, 73%, it's like almost 3/4, right? But somewhere along here, there's going to be a value, and that value is going to be the cutoff, where this area here is 0.73. Now remember, the whole area under the curve is 1, and so now we'll have this area is 0.73. So, a couple of things as we get started here. I'm going to do A is 22, B is 40, and so the width of my distribution here is 40 minus 22, and that means the height is going to be 1 divided by the width, right? That whole area here is 1. So we're now looking for this cutoff here. Now, the height of this is 0.55, and so if I need this area to be 0.73, the height times the width here, like length times width, given the area of 0.73, is what we're headed for. Now this guy here, I've got to kind of like boost it up a little bit to get it large enough here. So one way I can do this, the area I'm looking for here, my percentile, 0.73. So if I want to find the width of this piece right here from 22 to K, that width here, I'll call it X, and I'll write it here with a mouse. Oh, okay, that's pretty bad. Almost looks like my K. Maybe I'll grab my pen here. Oops, oh boy. I gotta get my axis back. Okay, so this width here, I'll call it X, because we have the width of our uniform distribution and we have the width of our rectangle on the inside that's going to be 0.73. So I'm going to call this guy X, which may or may not be really a great idea because we have X as some other things. But I need a way to talk about it. Anyway, the height here is going to be this height. So this height times this value here has to equal this, right? Length times width equals area. So I don't know what this is right here, but I have the area. So if I take the area and divide by the height, I should be able to get this width here. So if I take the area and divide by the height, I know it gets a little crazy. Okay, 13.14 is going to be this width right here. Now, notice 13.14 is going to be over here left of 22. So my answer isn't 13.14, but the distance from 22 over to K is 13.14. So K is going to be at this 13.14, well, I need an equal sign here, plus my starting point, 22. So now if we said 35.14 is the 73rd percentile, 35 say it was just 20 to 40, right? 35 would be like 75%. So this makes a bit more sense. So you might think of this, the value here is going to be our width plus our starting point. So if I hop back over here to the question, 35.14, there we go. Okay, so we'll try another one here in case that was confusing. The time in minutes until the next bus departs a major bus depot is uniformly distributed between 37 and 49 minutes. What is the 39th percentile? So again, grabbing this question here, go over here, zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I've got a starting point here of 37, and it ends at 49. And so the width of my uniform distribution is going to be 49 minus 37. And then the height is going to be 1 over that. So now I'll try to draw my picture. And again, the picture here is really for our understanding, and you might be like, well, this is really easy. I don't need to do this. Just trust the process here. Draw the picture. So then the height here, 0.083 and a bunch of 3's, right? Okay, so I'm looking for the 39th percentile. So about halfway, a little less than halfway. So this here, 0.39, and my K is going to be right there. So if I want to get clever here, my area 0.39, my K is going to have to be whatever this width is here plus the 37, right? And so my height is still this. Okay. So if I take the width times the height gives me this area. So I have to do the area divided by the height. And that'll give me this distance from here to here. And so I actually want to add to that 37. And notice here we get 41.68. So I did it in one swell foop there. Just kidding. Remember, the height times the width gets us the area. So if I take the area and divide by the height, I get the length from 37 to here, and that's why I added the 37 to it. If I just did the other one, and I'll do it here as a mistake, if I take the area and divide by the height, I get 4.68. So 4.68 is going to be way over here, and it's not inside this interval. My answer has to be somewhere between 37 and 49. So maybe you find the 4.68 and add it to the 37. At any rate, our answer here, 41.68. I just hope this is helpful for you. Please let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.